Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And today we are doing a review for Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Trav, the Trash Man Martin, and Rebellious _ D23. How you guys doing today?
A peachy.
Woo! Cream. I love that song. Woo. 112. Yes, sir.
112, baby.
Taking it back.
Hey, I miss hip hop beats like that where they always had like the noises. It sounded like they made the beats out of computers and then threw like, drums on it.
Yep. No, I agree. Yeah, I miss those sounds too, man. Back in the day.
Say that?
Just like that Nelly Air Force One beat.
I
don't even know where they got them sounds from.
It was sweet though.
It's crazy because I'm watching Bojack Horseman, and on season 3, one of the episodes, it was like they were in the year 2007, and I was just like, yeah, this was definitely the year 2007, man. Like all the pop songs that used to be playing on the radio, and Soulja Boy, and it's crazy, man, because it's like when we were younger, we would watch shows and remember like they would do those flashback episodes to like the 60s or 70s, and it's like now we're in our 30s and like they do flashbacks to the early
2003.
Yeah.
20 years ago, this was number 1 on 106 in Park.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then they show you the style. Like everybody had on the real baggy pants.
Bro, I can't believe I dressed as ridiculous as I dressed.
I never did that.
Backwards jerseys.
I know my cousin. Geez. My cousin, I remember like he used to wear like these really huge baggy pants. And like he would have them down to his knees, and I'm just like,
no, I didn't sag that hard. It was definitely under my ass, though.
Yeah.
I actually wore especially once I got heavy into skateboarding, I always wore my pants on my waist because I'd seen videos of people just eating shit, and I just refused.
But luckily, the Booty Warrior, he was locked up because he said that sagging stuff. He said he finds that attractive.
Hey, he said they let me know they ready.
I like you. I want you. But like I said, we're doing a review for Batman: Long Halloween Part 2. And before we get into it, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Thanks.
So let's go ahead and get into this. So I found out that this movie came out last week, and there really wasn't any promotion for it. Like for the first one, I knew that it was out, but for this, I was just scrolling on Facebook and I saw Batman: Long Halloween Part 2 is out. I'm just like, dang, well, when are they gonna let us know? You know what I'm saying? But I did enjoy this movie, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. I don't know. It was just something about it where it kind of seemed off to me. I thought that the start where it picked up right after the first movie, where we see that Bruce is under Poison Ivy's control and whatnot. And, this is also slightly different from the comics because in this, she's controlling them for 3 months, whereas in the comics, it was a much shorter time period.
Much shorter.
Yeah. Not an entire 3 months. Yeah. But yeah, like Trav, what was your takeaway on Part 2? Like, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, definitely wasn't as interested in it watching it as I was the first part. The first part, though, the opening scene starts off with a bang. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This one's a little lackluster. And there's just a lot more dialogue in the second one. Yeah. Than the first one. And yeah, it's good. But
just didn't hold you.
I don't know what else to say.
It's all good, man. As far as I'm concerned with the second part, I like the fact that they go together, obviously. And it's just kind of like a huge murder mystery to me. And I just don't feel like it was nothing. There was no wow factor. It was just kind of like watching an episode of Batman, kind of, There was, Thanks.
Yeah. No, I mean, No, I
guys, y'all want to get it together. Everything okay?
No. I was just sitting here reading some stuff about the movie, but I thought you were going to keep going deeper into it.
No. I feel like we don't got a lot to say.
A lot of hot potato.
Honestly, I feel like that, man. I mean, it like, don't get me wrong, like it's still a really good movie. It's just that it didn't get me hooked. Like I was saying earlier, before we started recording this review, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, like when that movie came out, the first one and the second one, in my opinion, like they were both good movies, but Trav said that he didn't think the second one was a good movie. It's just sometimes some of these films can be hit or miss. I will say that I do love it when it is a 2-part movie, especially for like, the big comics, because The Long Halloween, it's a big comic, you know what I'm saying? One thing that I was really hoping for was that we were going to get some sort of not Easter egg, but like some sort of continuation of this comic, because the next part is Dark Victory, and that's when Robin is introduced and whatnot. And I don't know about you guys, but did you think that when that family came to Bruce's house at the end of the movie, do you think that little boy was supposed to be Robin, or is that just me just looking too into it?
I think you're looking just a little too deep into it. However, I did like that part. That he came just as Batman.
Yeah.
It gives Bruce the feeling of I'm doing the right thing. You know what I mean? So I really
touching somebody.
Yeah, I really did like that. But no, I definitely don't think it's
I don't think it's Robin either, but I do. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, just to continue what I was saying before, is that I just don't think they have any plans to tie in movies right now. They're just kind of one shot in movies. And I just really don't see that playing a factor in anything more, honestly.
Yeah, and I know like I had said with Poison Ivy early in the movie, like there were a couple of changes that were added to the film, and I feel like the reason why they do these changes is because they wanted to, just be a part of this universe. I feel like when we were younger, like when the Death of Superman comic came out, right? Yeah, like it was a shot by shot of the original comic. It was just animated now, but that movie was just only supposed to be like a one-shot deal. Whereas with these movies, it's like they're trying to connect into this giant universe, and we see that at the end where we see the Flash and Green Arrow. They appear at Bruce's house, and we remember in Justice Society World War II that the Flash, he had talked with Superman, and he was just like, "Hey, we need to form a team because we never know what's going to come to Earth and whatnot." And we already know that Apocalypse is going to be that villain that's going to eventually come to Earth. Now, and I will say that I like how they're going about forming the team now compared to the last DC cinematic universe that we had.
I'm on the opposite.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of this. I want to touch on this.
Okay.
I want a piece of that.
Okay. Well, the reason why I say that is because when we get the last universe, remember we started off with the Flashpoint movie,
right?
And then the next movie after that was Justice League War, I believe that's what it was,
right?
Yeah, pretty close.
And it was just like, then that's the movie. Like none of the heroes knew about each other, and then they just all came together right there. Whereas I like how, Superman is the first hero. Batman, he's been doing his own thing in Gotham City, but it's like nobody knows about each other. But now they're all trying to figure out who each other is, and I like the direction that they're going in.
Well, I want to cut in right here, and I want to say I hope that they aren't going back down to the dark side. I would like to see them do something just on Earth this time, or just a totally different villain, like lead up to the Legion of Doom or something. Like we just saw the dark side thing, it needs to be something else. Use somebody else, anybody. Trav, did you? I just don't want to see Darkseid again, dude. They literally just did that, I
agree with you, but you got to remember, Darkseid is like,
I know.
I get where you're coming from.
It's like if Marvel does Thanos again.
No. I agree with you. I get where you're coming from, but you got to remember, man, like in every Justice League, whether it's the cartoons or movies, it's like it always leads to Darkseid. But it is cool when you do get different villains, like when we got Vandal Savage and Justice League
exactly,
or when we got Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. You know what I'm saying? Where
that's what I'm saying. Like we
those
talk
are
about
all
this
before.
Yeah, but we talk about this often enough when we do DC titles in general. Like they need to branch out. This count, it's not just a hero thing, it's a villain thing too. Like branch out, show some other people. Yeah, there's other villains out there, dude. I'm sure
for sure. I agree.
So.
But yeah, Trav, go ahead and put in your 2 cents.
And I mean, like I said, I know we're kind of getting off topic of talking actually about the Long Halloween and more about DC and the direction.
It's okay.
No, but it all
DC.
But I really think, from watching the Injustice, backstory sneak peek that they gave. I mean, it's 8 minutes of them explaining what the story is and all the characters, and I really think that Dee's going to be happy with, some of the people that they're bringing in, because I'm pretty sure Dee brought up Plastic Man when we were talking about Justice Society, and Plastic Man has an actual arc in Injustice. He's an actual strong character that they're rolling with, so hopefully and of course they're switching things up. In Injustice, Superman is a douche and taking things to the extreme alongside Wonder Woman, and then you got Harley Quinn, who's on the good side, and she's working with Green Arrow, and they're doing all these switching things, and I'm for it, dude.
And that's a fresh take.
I'm saying you're getting this fresh take.
Thank you.
But I do enjoy these movies so far that we've gotten, but I don't think it's started off as good as it did when we got Flashpoint Paradox, going into war, and then the Son of Batman, Batman vs. Robin, Batman Bad Blood, those three doing Throne of Atlantis and stuff. I really don't think this is as good. And again, like Dee said, it all led up to this big colossal fight with Darkseid and Apocalypse War. We do not need to revisit Darkseid.
I'm like, how could you go back down that?
We do not need to.
That was literally last year, right? When it wrapped up?
It was like 2019.
It went from 2013 to 2020. So 7 years in the making to get the Darkseid.
Let's not.
Yeah, that's right. 2020. And
like you said, it would literally be like the next phase of Marvel leading all the way back to Thanos again. Very lackluster.
Yeah.
When you got a lot of really good villains that are strong enough on their own.
Well, see, I feel like with Marvel, because you have Galactus, you have Doctor Doom, who these are like the heavy hitters that we've seen in the MCU. Whereas with DC, I always feel like the heavy hitter is always Darkseid. Vandal Savage is always like he's a heavy hitter, but he's not a heavy hitter.
I agree.
Well, my gripe is, even if you choose to use your villains in what are they called? The rogues. The Flash needs help. Something happened, blah, blah, blah. There's stories to be written that I'm sure have already been written if they would use the source material. You can't tell me you got like 60 years of source material and you can't find something original to write. You know what I mean?
Reason why they use lightsabers now.
I'll say this about DC.
Okay.
Their heavy hitter villains are very
earthbound. Yeah.
Earthbound. You know what I mean? They don't have, like we just talked about with Marvel, these big outer space power. They really don't have that, dude. They got, and again, I get what you're saying about, the Darkseid stuff, because there's really not a whole lot of DC.
He is their Galactus, their Thanos.
We've talked about they really need to visit the Green Lantern Corps stuff.
And that's one they could use.
Dude, I'm telling you, if they brought in Sinestro.
Sinestro.
This is what they could really ride that wave as far as a big, powerful being. That
even if they do the Lantern Wars, Trav, I would love to see that with like the Brightest Day, Darkest Night.
Yeah, that was when you had
newer line. It's just like like all the other Lantern
Death
Corps,
rings, right? The Death rings,
the Death and the Light.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
don't know why they're not doing it.
I'd be down for some Reverse Flash stuff, because they really didn't visit it last go round.
Not really.
He was like a throwaway villain.
Yeah.
Every time you see him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, let me ask you something, because Trav, because you said that you had saw the
Injustice,
the other stuff, the Injustice stuff. So is this movie, is it just like a standalone film, or is it taking place in this universe?
No, it's a what do you call it?
Like
Otherworld?
standalone?
No, Otherworld or
Alternate?
Elseworld.
Okay, all right, cool.
Immediately they came out and said this is an Elseworld movie, and it's pretty much the premise is Wonder Woman is a savage, and when she gets on the battlefield, she's gonna kill you. It's
yeah. That's how she was in the game.
Yeah, and she's pushed Superman to that level, that mindset too.
Yeah,
and dude, I mean, they just had some.
She kind of reminds me of Achilles. Kind of Wonder Woman, the way she is and that and stuff. Like once you see Achilles, dude,
and the casting again was so good for Injustice, man. Like, man, they had this fight with Superman and Joker, and Joker was, kept poking the bear. You know what I mean? And Superman let him have it. And I was like, as soon as I saw that scene, I was like, yeah, I'm getting this movie. That's all I need to see.
That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to watch it, man. But yeah, I mean, to take it back on Batman Long Halloween Part 2, I think that they did do a good job at finishing the story for what it was. Trav, like how you had said, it's like they made it seem like that this was a one and done deal. Like there was no need for a follow up, and for that just being this movie just by itself, then I think that they did a good job with it. I feel like that they really tied up all of the loose ends by the time it got to the end of the movie. But yeah, like I said, I still want to see Robin. Because I honestly, man, it's like I like Damian Wayne, but I feel like we really haven't got Dick in a long time.
No.
Hey, Grayson is one of the better. He's one of the best sidekicks.
He's my favorite.
Yeah,
he's my favorite
character.
Hey, Nightwing is an Injustice.
Well, and it's and like, don't get me wrong. Like I like Nightwing. Like I like Nightwing more than Robin, but I just feel like we really haven't gotten Robin, like Dick Grayson, in a long time. Like we grew up with him.
Yeah, I think the last movie that DC actually had Dick as little boy Robin was Batman Year One.
I think you're right.
Was he in Year One?
I'm pretty, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think he was.
You sure?
Yeah, no.
I'm about to look it up. I don't.
Dumbass.
Yeah, my phone's dead, so.
Yeah,
I'm about to look it up, but yeah, I don't remember.
I think he is in Year One. I thought he was in Year One.
Well, then who plays Robin in Year One? Because I really don't think it's
I don't think there was a Robin. I'm looking it up right now. Unless like not the movie, maybe the comic, but yeah, I don't remember Robin being in Year One. I'm looking it up.
While you're looking.
No, you're right.
Go.
Yeah, he's not in it.
Yeah, no, he's not in it. You're right. I'm thinking of even, man, I don't know what I'm thinking of, bro.
Robin's in a lot of Batman titles.
Well, he wasn't in Justice League versus Teen Titans during the flashback.
Yeah, again, like you just said, that was like flashback stuff. It really didn't. Yeah, looking at the DC movie list, you're right, bro. Like, but I don't think there is a DC movie with Batman having his sidekick Robin as Dick Grayson by his side, weird, bro.
Yeah, because even when I think not the Long Halloween, Under the Red Hood, he was already Nightwing.
He was already Nightwing by then.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me circle back on just something that I said when I said I think this is like a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean that this won't be the Batman that you see when more movies come out. I just don't think they're going to do anything that picks up right after this movie.
For sure. Yeah, right. Bro, it'll most definitely be like the last DC universe where it's like some time has gone by.
It's 6 months, 2 years, whatever it is.
Because remember in Batman Hush, like you had Batgirl, you had
right.
I can't remember who else was in it, but you had characters who we had never even seen in this universe, but they were there. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead. Batman Bad Blood had already came out, but even in Batman Bad Blood, Batgirl, she still wasn't in that movie unless she made a cameo like in the end credits or something like that. But yeah, but with that being said, let us know what you thought about Batman Long Halloween Part 2. Oh, you got one more thing to say?
Yeah, one thing we just didn't cover before we wrap it up is, again, just the changes they made to the original being, what's her name? It starts with a G. What's Harvey's wife? Gilda.
Gilda.
Yeah.
Okay. To Gilda being the killer, they still kept her the killer, which I'm fine with because I really didn't want them to change that, even though I went into the movie knowing who the killer was. So it's really not a murder mystery. It's a murder mystery, but I already know the end result of who the murderer is. So it's not that much of a mystery. But going from Harvey, I want to have kids, and you're not showing, you're so wrapped up in your work, I'm going to go on this killing spree, to, she had a falling out with the son.
Yeah.
And, she wanted revenge on the family or whatever. And Batman kind of lets her go, at the end. I don't know what I don't know why Batman let her go. I get Batman blaming himself for Two-Face, for Harvey turning, and I get that. That's cool. I don't understand why Batman let her walk, though.
Yeah, I feel like because this is still a Batman, because remember they talked about this in the first movie where it's like his detective skills aren't as good as him being Batman, like that. His action and fighting skills, like.
Well, he already figured it out, though. And
I just feel like that. No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, that was something that Harvey and Commissioner Gordon kept on saying. It's just like, you need to get better on your detective skills. And I feel like that this is still a Batman who is still fresh to the game. You know what I'm saying? And
wet behind the ears.
Do you think he would have done it if this was Batman 10 years from now? Or do you think? Okay. I was going to ask you. Do you think not? Like, do you think he didn't do it as a favor to Harvey?
No, I mean, I feel like
that's an interesting play.
I feel like if this was Batman, like 10 years now, like
because Harvey knew and protected her.
Yeah, he did. And remember, he said he was just like, Harvey never even told me.
Harvey figured it out.
Yeah, Harvey figured. I mean, I think that he would have took her down because it's Batman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she still killed people.
Yeah, this is my city.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He would have probably gave her the moral speech, and then I still got to take in.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruce.
Oh, and we never touched on the Selena Kyle.
Oh, yeah, being Falcone's daughter. But in the comic book, she wasn't. Yeah, and that was something, too. We really didn't touch on it because I was just talking about, like, the comic differences. But in the original comic, Sophia and Selena, they fight each other. And then Selena, she pretty much escaped Sophia, and Sophia, like, she falls like it's several stories down, whereas in this it's like, I mean, like, she still fall, it was still a decent fall, but in the Dark Victory comics, it's like Sophia, like, she's messed up bad, and she's the killer in the Dark Victory comics because she's trying to get revenge for what happened that night when all of the villains came to the house.
Why do you think they made this addition?
Yeah,
probably so that way that they could just kill her off. Because in this, I feel like that she just died. If
I'm talking about with Selena, though, like specifically.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. I wanted to touch on that before we wrap up. Anyway,
I feel like I said earlier, it's like because this is like their own universe. I feel like this is the reason why they do this stuff. Because remember, we talked about this before. Like in Batman Hush, when it was revealed that the Riddler was Hush.
Right, yeah.
And, like, I was just like, why did they go that route? Because then they killed off Thomas Elliott. And, Thomas Elliott, like, he knows everything about Bruce. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was a bad move. It feels like that they do these M. Night Shyamalan twists in these DC movies.
But a twist.
Yeah, like
Lord,
because like the whole thing with Gilda and Alberto being a couple, and also too in Gotham, Commissioner Gordon's wife, I can't remember her name. Her and Alberto, they were a couple in that show, and then Alberto, he ends up going insane or something like that, and it's their universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you just got to take it for what it is.
I want to ask y'all before we get out of here, guys. Would y'all prefer that they leave stuff the way it is? Trav, especially you, reading through this stuff.
Yeah,
thanks. You reading through it too.
The only reason why I say yes, and it's not that I hate the changes they make or anything. Okay. I just think it adds to the confusion. because we're already talking about an IP that is 60, 80 years old or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of history here and a lot of stuff that has happened. And yeah, man, when you start, it's already confusing as it is. So now it's like, if somebody was to only watch the animated stuff, would they be wrong on their knowledge?
No, and that's the thing, man. It's because I've been saying on this review, man, it's like you just have to take it for what it is, because like this is their own universe. It's the same thing like when you watch a Marvel movie. It's just like you have your comic book fans who will sit here and be like, oh, well, that didn't happen in the comic and stuff like that. But it's its own universe. You know what I'm saying? Like in the comic, Thanos was, doing all of this because he was trying to impress Death and he was in love with her. Whereas in this movie, in the MCU, Thanos was just doing this because he just wanted to cut the universe in half. So that way it'd be more resources for people.
Okay, the death plot, they couldn't really use that on the big screen when we're talking about the Thanos stuff.
Right.
People would be kind of like, okay, they just kind of downplayed him a little and made him more into just a straight villain. Because the death stuff wouldn't have fit. People would have been like, okay, that was in the comics, but it's like, how would that fit in the movies? You know what I mean? In this, it's on a smaller scale. And I think they're two different scenarios. There's scenarios to everything. Like, if you have a reason for cutting something, that's one thing. But to just change as many things as they did in this, and there's so many moving pieces already. I think it's not justified. I get what you're saying, but it's like, how do you justify when it's already a murder mystery? Like, why would you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know, man.
Especially the Long Halloween, because it's the most iconic Batman story of all time.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this, The Dark Knight Returns.
The Dark Knight Returns,
Now, are you putting, for you, Banks, isn't this kind of like putting a target or possibly putting a target on your back when you're changing one of the most well-known stories? Like, I mean, why? This is what people are coming to see after years.
It is.
Never had a...
And I agree. It just goes back to what I was saying about the Death of Superman comic, the animated film. It was a shot by shot, from the comic to the animated screen. But with this, I feel like it's just like your boy Kevin Smith said, just grow up. Like after he said that, like, when they make changes to anything now, like, you just got to grow up.
I'm not going with that. Sorry, Kevin Smith, but I just don't. I don't think so.
I don't have an issue. Like, it's not like I hate it. I don't have an issue.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm
just saying that what's it called?
Debate.
Yeah, I just think sometimes it hinders a little bit more than helps the franchise. Is all I'm saying.
I agree. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm going to ask you this. I'll start with you first, D. 1 out of 10. What do you give this movie? And then 1 out of 10, what do you give both of them as a whole?
Part 2, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, it was an okay watch. I give it a 7 out of 10 just because I love seeing the villains. Any chance I get to see people like the Mad Hatter and stuff, it's fun to me, because you don't ever get to see these people as much as you should, or as you could, I'll say. And overall, I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10 as well as a whole. I mean, it was an okay story. It just seemed like an episode of Batman. I mean, I need Jensen to make his voice deeper too. So.
Like how he was doing on Supernatural.
I was gonna say, why you sound more like Batman and Supernatural than actually?
It just needs to get a little deep. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, exactly.
It's no real talk. I'm sorry, Trav, but I did recently restart watching Supernatural, and I'm watching the first season, and I'm just like, man, like when did the voice change? Because it's like he just sounds like a normal guy in the first season. Then it's
not even just the first season. Like I'm up to season 4, and his voice is still regular.
Maybe it was just them trying to critique the character as he wanted, because Dean goes through a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
he gets the mark of Cain and all that other stuff. He died. So maybe it was just a wear on his soul. Maybe
the mark of Michael.
Ooh, the M, the Magic Michael, boy.
But yeah, Trav, go ahead.
Yeah. So I gave the first movie an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10 with an overall 7 out of 10. The casting was phenomenal. The animation style that they've rolled with is grown on me. I definitely, when they showed the Man of Tomorrow stuff, y'all know I was like, dude, what is?
He was crushing it.
But it's grown on me. It's still nowhere near as good as the ending stuff like Batman Hush and Dark Apocalypse. Like nowhere near. They can't even touch that animation, you know, with this new stuff. But I don't think anything they did made the movie bad as far as changes they made. And yeah, I thought overall, you know, it was pretty good. 7 out of 10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for me, this movie, like I said early on, I enjoyed it, but it was just okay. So for me, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I thought, like I said, they wrapped up the story, and if they don't continue this or come out with anything to follow this story, then it is what it is. But overall, I would give both movies, I would give them an 8 overall for everything. I feel like this is one of those things where it's just like, if you watch both of them together, it'll be a lot better compared to when we watched the first one, it came out last month, and then, or was it early? Yeah,
I think it was ending of May, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was at the end of May.
Okay, so then
it was a little bit.
Yeah, then with this, so yeah, I give it a 8 overall. So let us know in the comments what you thought about The Long Halloween Part 2. Let us know what you thought about the series as a whole. Did you like it? Did you like the changes? Did you hate the changes? Let us know. We'll talk with you about it. D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
You can find me at rebellious_D23 Instagram.com. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Trav?
Hey, that's right. You can find me as well on the Instagram at ZK Audio. You can find me also on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK. And of course, man, where they going to find YouTube's #1 hero at?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching our video review. Hop in the comments. Let's talk about it. Check out some of our other reviews, interviews, and reaction videos that we have here on the channel. Like I always say, keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.